Welcome to Aspen Collective Gallery in the historic Wheeler Opera House. We are here with Whit Boucher.
We're back
for his second solo show. We're really honored not only to show your work, but to be a part of planning something very special. This show came about because last year we had an opening and we sold out the show. We decided, hey, let's do it again, but let's make it new but different. So can you talk about a little bit about this body of work, and then we can go into a little bit more detail, and how did this all come about?
Yeah, so this new body of work is definitely kind of building upon the previous show and previous body of work, and kind of a further exploration into my own kind of artistic process, artistic inspiration, and I think just overall delivery of the work, I think, has all been elevated. Because I guess as I was thinking about the work and kind of finishing everything for the first show, I was starting to have all these ideas. So this is kind of the year after combination of those ideas, and the biggest one specifically being kind of this idea of my representation of what kind of my energy and like life force looks like, and that's where the gold leaf comes from.
Cool. So all of our friends in town are excited and happy that Whit is now finished with the show, because you've been a little bit of a hermit and a recluse. And if you look at the detail in these works, we talked the other night about maybe 100 hours in each one.
I think, it's hard because I do them in stages, but I think over 100 for each one for sure. The pen detail in these was a lot, but I think that's, for me, that's like one of the biggest things that I'm excited about this year, especially for people that came to the show last year. I think the improvement is going to be like really, really noticeable for people. And I'm just really proud of the work, and like the depth and shadow. I think I've improved a lot in my drawing.
And I see some mushrooms in here.
Yeah, there are some mushrooms in there.
And out of everything in here, so we have 15 small works, 7 large works. Last year
I had a few more last year. We had 30 pieces total. We had 5 large pieces and 25 small pieces.
So we're kind of playing on that same idea of having small, unique works. I mean, everything's one of a kind. Can we talk a little bit about this gold leaf? Like, I don't want you to give away your trade secrets, but how do you do this?
So I've been intrigued with like reflective elements recently, and really, really wanted to start incorporating that into my work. And essentially watched a lot of YouTube videos on technique and how to do it, and kind of just went for it. And honestly, gold leaf, it is a like delicate process, but it is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. You just need some patience. But I am going to continue to experiment with gold and silver leaf and color in my work moving forward. But I really like the reflective, ethereal element it brings to the work versus just the black and white. And I didn't want to stray too far away from last year, because the black and white was a huge selling point, and I want to sell my artwork, of course, that's a big thing. But I thought adding a little bit of pop versus making it a full color piece still made it versatile for people to hang next to other works in their home.
And Whit's not only an incredible skier, but an avid mountain biker. He spends a lot of time above tree line. So a lot of these floral elements come from flowers here in the Roaring Fork Valley.
Yeah, all of the individual small pieces are Roaring Fork Valley flowers and mushroom species. Not all of them are high alpine, but I'd say 75% are high alpine species that can be found here, all over the Roaring Fork Valley.
And then I want to go back to this energy is everything. Can you just say a few final words just about, the inspiration?
Yeah, I as I was kind of formulating my ideas, drawing this, and kind of in the early stages thinking about it, I've always been intrigued with trying to capture and visually describe like what my energy looks like. And I kept getting these like visions of this kind of gold leaf Sanskrit, um, you know, hieroglyph figures. And all of this gold leaf Sanskrit is completely freehand. None of that's repeated whatsoever. But that was the impetus and kind of the idea behind the Sanskrit, and also everything has its energy, and this is like what I think it looks like. Um, yeah, and that's where it comes from.
Well, we have to give a big shout out to Sarah McClellan for helping Whit curate this show and inspiring us to always do cutting edge stuff. Can you talk just briefly about what it's like showing your work here in this space?
I mean, the show in the Wheeler, and especially for you, is pretty special. Living in Woody Creek, having that connection to the valley, and hunter history, and feeling very close to that. It's like really special and really cool to be able to show here versus anywhere else. So thank you, I appreciate it.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, I love you too. Excited for tonight.
Thank you.
Big night tonight. Let's go.